So this movie was shot '89, released in '90, and it's a million years later, and it's still enduring. And there's Frankenhooker merch all over the room, and Horror Realm is all over the room. Does it get surreal, or you said, well, of course, why wouldn't you love me?
No. It's humbling, if anything. It's like, wow, that's so cool. I want a tapestry. I want a doll. I want that. I want this. I want that. You know, they make so many different things that I wish I would have thought of. You know, just the different earrings. And a woman came up to me today with very long nails, and she put her hands down, and the middle finger was painted to a T. It was me. Every little eyelash, I had a cigarette hanging out of my mouth. It was just such a great, I was like, how did you do this? How long did this take you? How do you know, I took photographs, I'm gonna post them because I just think it's such an incredible talent to be able to paint that small, you know? It's pretty amazing.
James, does anyone come up to you with tattoos of your face on their body?
Yes, I've had a couple of people that had my face, and you know, it's and it looks good. It looks just like me, so I'm happy to be on someone's calf or chest. You know.
Hopefully, they're not using to unlock your phone or anything like that.
Well, there's no reason to bring that up.
I apologize.
I mean, we've all seen people cosplaying as Frankenhooker or wearing a Frankenhooker costume, but it's also a couple's costume you see sometimes with someone dressed up as Dr. Franken as well. So the movie plays theatrically a little bit, and then it's a smash hit on home video. The talking box. I remember I'd be walking in any video store, and you'd hear, like in the distance, "Want a date? Want a date?" Someone was always.
Yeah, it was great when you worked in these places.
Sure was. Sure it was. Did either of you, when the movie was taking off like that, get recognized out and about? Did anyone walk up to you and say, "Oh, I just saw you in that movie"?
Did anyone walk up and poke you and ask you to say the line?
No, but when as soon as they found out, or that, you know, somehow they were like, "You're so short and you're so little," like, because they've seen it so big, and you know, with the shoes and everything, you know, I'm like, I'm not that short, you know. They thought I would be this giant. Yeah. How about you, James?
No.
Sorry, man. You had other things going on.
Oh yeah.
You were out in LA.
I was out of town at
You were
that
with
time.
Valerie Hopper at the time.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, we're not going to go. Oh, we'll move her on from Valerie Harper. Then
Oh,
apparently
well,
she owes you money.
So here's an interesting story. So right when Frankenhooker was being edited, I actually got cast on a TV show on CBS with that was Valerie Harper show, and I don't know what would happen. I lucked into it, and I moved to Los Angeles, and I was working on this sitcom, and that's when Frankenhooker opened in Los Angeles at the New Art Theater, it was called. And I went to see it there, and I just didn't really want to have any attention. So I kind of went incognito. I had a hat on, and I remember I had a 6-pack of Schaefer beer. They had Schaefer beer in Los Angeles, which is weird. And I sat in the back, and I was drinking, you know, watching the movie. I went with a friend of mine, and it was packed, and it was chilling in a way. And we don't do that anymore. I mean, at least you watched it in a group of people, that nobody really goes to the movies much anymore. And so that was great to watch it in that sea of people, and that was, you know, worth everything. Aside from tonight.
Do you want to tell people about the series you're on right now? And
Yes. Now listen, this is gonna follow me now. I'm in a series right now called Crash the System, and it was written and directed by a gentleman named Kamal Ahmed, who was originally one of the Jerky Boys. So if you remember me, he was the Indian, "You punched me in my throat, but then this thing took my pants." I actually became very good friends with him. Anyway, so he's become a filmmaker since then, and he's made a lot of independent movies that are very, very, not comedies. So you wouldn't even. So he's done this series called Crash the System. It's a science fiction, I don't know how to describe it, but maybe you just It's on Amazon and Tubi for free. There's 8 episodes in the first season. I come in at episode 5, so I suggest skipping the number 5. Sometimes it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's a very, but he just finished his 2nd season of it. And that's going to come out a little bit later this spring, and then he's going to do the 3rd season next year. This is a guy who's doing something for $80,000-$90,000 and getting 8 episodes. I just really, I appreciate people that are working independently and doing what they want to do, so I will support that, and I hope you take a look at it. This came out with no fanfare. Just one day it started streaming. They didn't even tell him. Well, he told everybody on Facebook. And he thought it was going to be like, So the next season will have some advertising, but if you get a chance, take a look at it and see what you think. Will you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't we start taking some questions and make them good?
Oh, just one thing further. Can you get the heat up here a little more? Just a tad more.
Could everyone just take a deep breath?
I'm still
and exhale
conscious.
at one time?
You want my jacket? You want a jacket?
Get some blankets in here. All right, who has a question? Really? Wow. You're some quiet motherfuckers.
Failed.
We have failed. Not a single one. Okay, there's one.
I want to know from the 2 wonderful actors from the perfect little movie, what has been the most rewarding aspect of working on Frankenhooker? Not involved with like the premiere or any of that, but just your general thoughts of the lasting rewards and effects of the movie, even if they're not overly financial, because it changed hands so many bloody times nobody can keep track of it. What makes you proud of the movie still to this day?
It is 30 some odd years later, and we're still working on Frankenhooker. There is so much to be proud of. I mean, long after we're gone, I hope we're with the werewolf, Dracula, maybe even Frankenstein himself. But we'll be here, right? It's a great thing to be a part of.
May I echo those words? For me personally, when you start out to be an actor, obviously you want to work on, something that gets recognized as something that gets, not necessarily a famous thing, but I was shocked because when this movie came out, it really didn't do much business. It came out, it was in and out in 2 weeks, the critics killed it, and then all of a sudden, about 25 years later, another, generation of people sort of discovered it and brought it back to life. And it's even bigger now. I am just so overwhelmed by the people that have come in it. This room is so full that it's still resonating. So I can die now and feel like, well, not right now, but like when I die, that I was a part of something. I contributed something that people like. And that's really, obviously there's no financial gain, but you know what I'm saying. Thank you.
Do you have recollections of working with Louise, your mother?
Oh, yes, I do. Very nice ladies and men, very nice on the movie. She was only there for one day. We only had her for that one day, and I was a little nervous because I know her from, a lot of different things, Mary Hartman, and so when she came over to introduce, I said, hello, Miss Lasser, I'm going to be playing so-and-so. And she looked at me, she said, oh yeah, hi, how are you, And then a couple of little sentences later, she says, Woody Allen was such a great lover. I'm like, wow, give me a chance. We were lucky to have her in there as Mama.
But you weren't, the scene in the film isn't with you and her, is it?
Why did you have to bring that up?
Because I'm an asshole.
Can't you leave the dead lie still and in peace?
That was the back of his head.
So we filmed that scene where I'm talking about. So we were shooting the scene. It was a very tender scene, and I'm giving her all, And apparently there was some kind of a technical glitch. I don't know if it was the sound or it was out of focus or something. And when it got back from the lab, they realized they couldn't use it. they could use some of it, but not all of it. And they couldn't afford to bring her back because this is a low-budget movie. I don't know, they were paying her $10,000 a day or whatever. They could only put. So our old friend Gabe
Got into the wig. I remember that. He played.
and that was him, and I'm giving the speech to him. And he was
How could
looking
you
at
not
me.
love someone like that?
Those deep, dark eyes of his.
That you just lose yourself in.
In his braids.
Yeah, that big hump of his shoulder
Oh,
is
God.
him.
All right, any other questions?
I love you.
All right, sir.
Can you reflect on a moment you just had a lot of fun filming Frankenhooker? And secondly, who do you prefer over Frankenstein and Dracula?
Frankenstein in a heart.
That might be too provocative.
You?
What's that? Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Of course, Frankenstein.
Right?
But what was the first part of your
A
question?
moment that you can remember you had a lot of fun, just like that stands out filming Frankenhooker.
You mean an actual like good time?
In actual.
None for me.
Yeah, not a moment of misery.
Do you remember?
A moment.
Wait, so that's two separate questions. Who's better, Frankenstein or
Yeah,
Dracula?
right.
We got that out of the
Got
way.
that out.
That's out of the
That's
way.
out.
Okay, so now, what's the great?
Just one moment you remember that you had fun making the movie.
Fun.
Lots of moments.
Lots of them?
You go
Can you
first.
boil it down?
No, that's
So one moment?
Just random, a fun story.
A fun story. James, you go first.
I think
No
you're,
fun story
well, my
for me?
story is a little dirty, so you go ahead with yours first.
You like dirt?
Tell us
You
the
like
tell us
dirt?
the
I'm gonna
brothel.
sell
Tell
that.
about the one that's in a real brothel there.
Oh.
That you were just telling
Oh,
us.
the hooker!
You were just telling us
Okay, so one of the hookers in real life became a madam, and a very, top tier madam in South Florida. And she has a whole bunch of hookers and everything. She's got this really long hair like Lily Munster and really long nails, and like she looks like a madam, and yeah. Life imitates art, doesn't it?
I've never seen anyone imitate art.
this. It was made for Halloween once, actually.
No, it's fine. I wasn't there. Jim, so no joy for you in Bud Bill at all.
Well, I've already put myself in
Tell
the
the dirty
garbage can
story.
by saying Louise Lasser was dead, so I might as well
You're done.
continue.
Your grave's already dug.
So there were these two women that were working in the office of Frankenhooker. You know, the paycheck lady, and I always kind of checked in with them and flirted with them a little bit. And one night after filming, I think it was the last scene, somebody opened up some booze, we're having a little party on there, and somehow we wound up in a men's room stall, and we kissed together. And it was the first time I had a three-way kiss.
The two old ladies?
Louise, help me! Louise!
The two old ladies?
No! No! There was the one girl that was in charge of the payroll, and then there was another girl. They might have been old ladies. Well, maybe they were middle aged. I don't know.
Remember John and Felix? Those two ladies.
Okay.
Boy, I'm in trouble now.
Anybody else? Oh, there's something you again.
Can you tell us about Zorro? Any memories you have of the actor?
What do you think?
I wish I knew more about Zorro. I would love to get in touch with him. I think he's wonderful. I had great interactions with him, and I think he played that part perfectly. I don't know where he is. I don't know what he's up to.
He's married to Louise Lasser.
Oh, shit.
Anyone else? We tapped out? No? All right.
Are the rumors of a Frankenhooker 2 true?
Would you like to fund it?
Yes!
Pass the hat.
You never know. There might be a reboot in the future. A lot of people love it, so, when people love something, a lot of times they follow it, but sometimes it's not the right way to go. Is it the right way to go, James?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of sequels, only because it's like doing the same thing over and over, unless it's The Godfather Part 2. And this is such a unique take on it. I don't know. I mean, of course, maybe we could do a different story or something else, but I think we should leave it alone as just Frankenhooker.
Will it be a 3,
Oh, I really fucked
4,
up again,
and a
didn't I? I keep
5?
saying the wrong things.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We'll make it up to Louise, and we'll have the star of it, please. And we'll get Zorro back.
Frankenhooker feels there's nowhere to go with it. I believe there's a lot of places to go with it. If you have a creative mind and you're a writer, you can write an ending to go on. Especially that one. He's got a Johnson, he's on a piece of wood.
I don't
I'm
have a
there,
Johnson.
I'm in the lab, I've got control of everything. Forget it, everything could happen. Anything. We're in New York.
Oh, the way you make it sound, maybe.
I really see it as a Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf situation. Could you say, you're the one who left the gate open, Martha?
Right?
Nobody, nothing, not a damn thing. Anything else? Oh, okay.
You said that there was a period of time after the movie got to the theater and DVD or VHS back in the day, and that interest kind of dropped off. When was it you discovered that people that rediscovered the movie, and how did that make you feel when it started blowing up like this?
I gotta disagree with you. It never dropped off. It never dropped off because by the time I did my first horror convention, in trouble again. Strike 2. No, but the truth is, by the time I did my first show, there was a guy with a tattoo on the back of his head. There was 2 guys with tattoo. I mean, you know, there was merchandise around the horror show, so it was art. You've been around all those years.
I mean, I've been a fan all these years.
Did it disappear?
Mike and I have loved Frankenhooker all these years. The
Did it
people
ever
in this room,
disappear?
no.
Drag me in.
I don't think.
Look, let's be honest here.
We disappeared.
Here's
James.
the we
no,
didn't
you had we had kids.
I was
mean,
trying
you
to
had-
find out who was dead and who was alive. Frankenhooker came out, and for 20 years, at least in mainstream or whatever, yeah, there were some diehard people that liked the movie, and all of a sudden, a new generation came. You know it. They said, "Hey, would you like to come do a convention? They're doing I said, "Oh, what? A convention for Frankenhooker?" And then all these people came that never saw it before, and that came in. And then now it's another 10 years.
Other people turn
Yeah,
other
and it's
people
like
on,
it's really something.
and so
you know?
on and so forth and so on. How does
You
it go?
dirty animal.
Oh,
That's how we're gonna end it?
yeah.
Dirty animal?
Dirty animals.
All right. I think we deserve a round of applause. Patty Mullen, James Lorinz, Art Ettinger, thank you very much.